Guess what we have tonight? Our first video. Actually, I'm not going to lift it because I want it to be a surprise, although you probably, by reading the tags and stuff, you already know what it is. But it's our first video game review, and I decided to do it because why not? I might review other things too, like maybe some movies here and there. The majority will be books, but I just decided to add a little more. And for my first video game review, I was thinking, I was like, what's a really special game to me? And my special game is the first. Well, this wasn't technically the first game I ever played. The first game I ever played was Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. But this game is the game that I spent the most time with as a kid, and the first game that I ever beat. So, I remember being in my mom's bedroom playing my Super Nintendo and getting so frustrated at the last boss. Because it's interesting how if you're, a gamer and you've been playing games since you were little, it's funny how looking back, you didn't have as much coordination with your fingers as you do now. So you play this game, you play your old games now, and you're like, oh my god, this is so easy. But back then, you were like, so it's interesting how the brain develops and whatever. But anyway, my special game was Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Now, for those of you, who grew up nowadays, like maybe, I don't know, you're 13 by now or so, and used to things like Modern Warfare and Devil May Cry or whatever. I'm just throwing things out there. You might look at this and be like, that's so kiddie, like childish, like, well, fuck you. But anyway, this game fucking rocked. You have no idea how much this game rocked. And it's interesting because this is actually a prequel. It's Super Mario World 2. The first one was Super Mario World, which was a great Mario game in itself. And then for the second one, they did something different, and it's actually, the story is about the Mario brothers, when they were being delivered by storks because it's Nintendo and they didn't want kids to know the real truth, but whatever. And this evil Maggie Koopa, is that how you say Kamek? I never said these names out loud before, so I have no idea how they're pronounced. Which is basically an evil Koopa, or wizard. I actually never knew if Kamek is a guy or a girl. If you know, comments, or I'll probably just look it up on Wikipedia right after I post this. But Kamek, he, for some reason or another, just decides to knock the stork out, and then Baby Mario falls. Of course, Baby Luigi is captured, and he's nowhere to be seen until the last scene of the game. And then Baby Mario falls in Yoshi's Island. So the Yoshis get together, and they're like, oh shit, because it's not really typical for a baby to fall from the sky. And they decide to go and deliver the baby. And how they know this, it's not, but it's got a very nice fairy tale. But the gameplay was so awesome. You play as Yoshi and you just throw eggs at people, and you play as different Yoshis, and there's even a multiplayer aspect of it. But the multiplayer is only unlocked if you do every level in a given, because there's 8 worlds, just like in Mario, or 8 or 6. It's been so long since I played that game, but there's either 6 or 8 worlds. And if you get 100%, because you collect coins and like red coins and flowers and things like that. If you collect all of them on every level in a given world, you unlock these like multiplayer bonuses, and there's just these they're like mini games from like Mario Party kind of things. So that's cool, and the music is awesome, especially because at the end it's not much of a spoiler, but at the end it's revealed that Baby Bowser's behind all this, and he ordered Kamek to get the Mario Brothers, and then when you fight Baby Bowser, you fight him as Baby Bowser, but then Kamek uses his magic, or her magic, and he becomes like this huge fucking giant Bowser, and it's like the most epic. This shit blew my mind when I was little, because like this is the first major boss battle that I ever played, and like, like Bowser, who's not really a baby anymore. He's just like this huge fucking monster, and he's like off in the distance, because he was so big that he destroyed the castle, and so you're like on the foreground, and there's this huge Bowser in the distance, and you have to keep shooting eggs at it before he runs at you. That shit, fucking like pumped my blood when I was little. Because I was like, oh my god, he's coming, just shoot the eggs, and it was nerve wracking. And the best part, there was fucking like metal music in the background. There really was. It was just like just like over and over. It was fucking awesome. So, of course, they don't sell Super Nintendos anymore, but that doesn't mean that you can't play it anymore. Now, I don't mean those silly little Wii points so you download something from the Wii. No, I mean how to play this game for real, for free. And most of you might know this, but some of you might not. This whole emulator thing. Now, emulator is just a fancy technological term for let's convert old games into playable versions on your laptop or computer. So you can literally just search on Google for Super Nintendo emulator. That's EMULATOR. I'll get them here for a second. And you download it. And the one that I use is called ZSNES. So it's literally how it's spelled, ZSNES. And then after you download your emulator, you look for ROMs, ROMs. And ROMs are basically like the cartridges, so to say, for your emulator. And you just search for Yoshi's Island ROM, and then you can play it. And you didn't spend not even one dime or cent on playing this really awesome game. Now, I've seen, I haven't played, but I've seen online the updated versions for like the Game Boy Advance and the DS. They totally fucking ruined that shit, especially with the music. The music for the Game Boy Advance version, they made it so much more giddy and just like the metal music isn't there, and it sucks. It's like, why did you do that? It was so fucking awesome the first time around. So yeah, there is our first, and this still work well. Recently it started to lose its memory. Like when I would play it, when I would put it back, like I would realize that some of my game data was erased, and it's a shame. And here's a tattered copy of my instruction booklet, because I like literally I always looked at this shit when I was little. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like, oh, see, oh, oh.